probably look at me funny, but they have no choice but to accept it.
But like, I don't think it would affect. It would have to be like real tough. Like it would have to be like my whole family hate me on this,
Okay.
not just my dad, or say my dad. Say it would have to be like really extreme for me to stop liking somebody. For
Gotcha.
Somebody else's opinion.
I don't really face no problems, I guess, because it's not like my mama not white and my dad not black. It's like we mixed from like long down the line, so it's not really that big of a deal. Maybe like growing up in New Orleans, a lot of people assume we were white, so that kind of caused altercations, but not really. It's not really a problem. White people still think I'm black. So it doesn't seem like that. I don't get no special treatment or nothing.
Funny you should ask. It's kind of tough to relate to different groups of people. Like, the very best example that I've got was an episode of South Park where the white male character, Stan Marsh's dad, was on Wheel of Fortune, and he thought the clue was, he thought the answer was the N-word, and like he actually said it. Actually, I mean, he said it because he thought it was the clue. But I was watching it with 8 frat guys, all of them white, all of them scared to death to laugh because they thought that it would be offensive to me. And I'm laughing my ass off just because it's funny. But like when I'm surrounded by black people, they think I'm white. When I'm surrounded by white people, they consider me to be black. So it's kind of tough to fit in to different networks, but once I become a little bit more comfortable with myself, it gets easier just to adapt to different situations. I don't see people in terms of race, I see them in terms of people, just because, like, with me, they can pick.
Okay.
My mom is mixed herself, so that probably wasn't too big. My aunts and uncles only is white people. So, I mean, they mixed too, so.
Do you see any like negative or positive stigmas associated with it?
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they actually like black people, to be honest. I don't think they really like me too much. Because I ain't black. That's just honest.
That's real.
That can also be kind of sticky, especially the scenario that you just put out with the large Catholic population in this area. Catholics have some strong opinions at times when it comes to things like that, but I think that's kind of changing. And I kind of agree with Stuart. I'm a little bit indifferent about the whole thing. I don't see a problem with it. I don't see many people who have problems with it. It's just kind of you find somebody that you're in love with and go on about it.
How would you feel about, say, an atheist came at y'all and wanted to holler at y'all? Like, how would you, if you fell in love with an atheist?
That wouldn't happen because, like, we don't even have, like, the same, foundation. Like, we don't even have the same basis, like, even the Bible talks about, like, how can light fellowship with darkness, like, how can you have, like, together with darkness? Yeah. I mean,
okay.
like, if you don't even have those same underlying morals and views, like, that's like having somebody who's like Muslim, you marry somebody who's like really devout Jehovah's Witness or something, like, how would the wedding be? And they can't get along and the families clash and stuff like that. Like, I'm all for, like, interracial stuff, as long as you have the same, like, heart and morals and stuff like that. Like, color, skin color, that doesn't matter, like, that's not important to God. But will we be able to, like, to do anything together without clashing and something like that.
Like, ultimately, like, people's main goal is to try to convince the other person or convert the other person to their religion. So you have 2 people who already stand fast in their own religion. It's not going to work because you can't say nothing that will change them, and they can't say nothing to change you. So it'll be like a continuous collision, and like it's incompatible. So it's like you don't get a camera charger and try to put it in the phone charger, it's not gonna work. It's just
I'm like, I'm married and I'm trying to, like, have faith in He's like, God doesn't exist. And I'm trying to stand on my faith and you think I'm ready to help me make it through. God's not real. Like, how will we even get along? Like, forget the whole ministry stuff.
I think that's really progressive, actually, because it teaches tolerance and it can easily be done. In fact, I know plenty of friends who have those sorts of relationships. And so that way it's a good way to pay it forward and pushing cultural values that are accepting of all points of view.
You don't see it around a lot though out here.
Why do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah, you think location has a big impact on it? On whether or not you see it?
I guess. I'm really not sure about that. Well, okay, I've noticed it like as a bigger problem down south, like, but up north, my friends like date and they're different races and it's no big deal. I think black guys are really hot.
To a degree. I mean, like for example, right here in Baton Rouge, the poorest and the richest sections of Louisiana are both here in Baton Rouge. If you go north, straight that way, you'll find the poorest area of the entire state, and it's made up of it's interracial society just because of the inherent segregation of these particular areas. People don't want to stray away from what they feel comfortable with, and unfortunately, what they feel comfortable with is what people look like, as opposed to what they are.
Perception of interracial relationships. It got better over the years, yeah. From the past, before I think it was looked more down upon. I think but now it's somewhat become like more normal.
Okay.
I think it's still controversial, like, you know, I mean, still some people look at it as, oh, not okay or whatever. But it's gotten better, I think, than before.
Years? I guess. Hi. I think people become a lot more open to it.
Okay.
Because it seems when you're close to me, it's gonna be
Also race, I guess, because religion is kind of becoming less and less of it. And a lot of religions are similar anyway, whereas race, I don't know why, but it just seems to a different life, I guess.
it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be
Well, I wouldn't be here without it. My father was black, my mom's white, and I mean, literally, it wouldn't be possible for me to get into a relationship without it being interracial to some degree. I mean, I got the half white, half black split right down the middle. But I'm definitely in favor of it. It's going to be what the future looks like. Like in 2050, everybody's going to be this shade, brown, get used to it.
According to my good friend Shantae Joseph, this is a quote: we should all
have
babies with good
we
hair.
should all practice interracial dating because we all want babies with good hair.
Thank you, Shanti.
Please use that in the final.
alright. Yeah. Would you mind if I told you I loved you just for tonight? Because it seems when you're close to me, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be